Welcome, everybody. I'm your host tonight. I'm Michael Wood. This is our Cruiserweight showcase of the night. It's Kory Jackson, the little shooter, versus Nick Bondage. Nick Bondage managed by Waylon Prophet. Shooter the fan favorite here, and the rumor is that this may be Kory Jackson's last match in Ultimate Wrestling. A lot of speculation on that one. In my personal opinion, I think we'll see him here again at some point. But Kory Jackson, this may be your last chance to see him. Now, Nick Bondage, he's been a regular in Ultimate Wrestling for quite a while now. He's a contender for the Heavyweight Championship, a championship that Kory Jackson, up until about a month and a half ago, held in his hands before he lost to Minotaur in a three-way match between Nick Bondage, Minotaur, and Kory Jackson. A match that was dominated by Kory Jackson for a good portion of that match until Nick Bondage and Minotaur teamed up to defeat Kory Jackson. Now, for those of you fans who aren't familiar with Ultimate Wrestling is based out of Pensacola, Florida. The first Saturday of every month, you can catch Ultimate Wrestling at the American Legion Hall, Post 33. For more information about Ultimate Wrestling, just check out our website. It's www.ultimatewrestling.org. And look at that big clothesline by Kory Jackson taking Nick Bondage to the hardwood floors here in Pensacola, Florida. Here's a bit of trivia for you folks. Kory Jackson's great-grandfather was Herman Melville. Herman Melville, you know, the guy who wrote Moby Dick. And I guess that's why they're always talking about the little shooter as well, his apparatus. Charity, at least, is always talking about it. And there you see Nick Bondage really upset with the fans. Nick Bondage in great shape here, a tremendous athlete, been wrestling all around the world. Originally from, he said, New Hampshire. I've also heard New York out of this man, but from New England for sure. A great technical wrestler. He says the name Bondage is not because of his after-work exploits, but the name Bondage is because he ties people up and puts them into knots, the most severe type of wrestling, and he likes to hurt people. Now, Kory Jackson and Nick Bondage have a genuine dislike for each other. And as you know, just last month it was Nick Bondage who gave a pile driver to Kory Jackson after the event. Fans waited 30 to 45 minutes just to make sure that Kory Jackson was able to make it out of the arena. He was able to make it out on his own accord that night, but Kory Jackson severely injured last month by Nick Bondage after the match, came up from behind, delivered a quick clothesline and then a pile driver, really spiking the little shooter's neck. And there he is playing to the fans. Little shooter, really a fan favorite here. Came out a little bit angry, a little bit different tonight. Put on some weight, put on about 15 pounds. Apparently he's been working with none other than Caesar. Caesar, surprisingly, a member of the Hellfire Club, working with Kory Jackson to really put on some weight for this match. I guess Kory Jackson was upset that a man like Minotaur was able to throw him around and handle him like a rag doll, and he thought he needed to put on some weight to really be at the top of his game. So he put on quite a few pounds this month, and from what I hear, he is really packing on the pounds in the weight room. Also, folks, I want to make sure to remind you to check out Texas Barbershop in Pea Ridge, one of the great barbershops in the area. Go ahead to the Pea Ridge Flea Market and check out Texas Barbershop. Also, there's all sorts of sponsors for Ultimate Wrestling I probably should be mentioning, one of which is the Anderson Ring Fabrication, also Natural Elegance Lawn Care. Go ahead and check out ultimatewrestling.org for more information about all of those great commercial sponsors. For those of you folks who are thinking of coming down to Ultimate Wrestling on the first Saturday of the month, the next one is November 2nd, Ultimate Wrestling out of the American Legion, post number 33. Make sure to come on and check us out. You'll see some great wrestling superstars. Some of the things going on in Ultimate Wrestling right now. You'll see a feud between Maze and Cruz of New Era. The tag team champion is a man by the name of Justin Cruz, but his tag team partner Maze is very jealous over that tag team title. So these two are going to have it out with a TLC match, tables, ladders, and chairs for the Cruiserweight Championship in Ultimate Wrestling. Now Nick Bondage for the cover, only gets the 2 count. Nick Bondage doesn't like that, going for another cover now. I don't think he's going to be able to get this one. Finally gets the shoulder down, the 1, the 2, and Kory Jackson, the little shooter, able to kick out. Nick Bondage now forcing those shoulders to the mat, trying to win through attrition here. This isn't the Napoleonic War, Nick Bondage. Doesn't appear to have the shoulders down to the mat, going ahead and putting Kory Jackson in what appears to be a stranglehold. I don't know if the referee is going to allow this. referee by his side, apparently saying that he is not cutting off the circulation of air, but only cutting off the circulation of blood to the brain, which makes it a legal hold. I don't know, folks. That looks like it's right across the trachea, and the referee's trying to break this up. Nick Bondage may be looking to get himself disqualified. Breaks before the count, but I don't know. I think that was over 5 seconds. Now 1, 2, 3. Nick Bondage breaks it up. Almost shoved the referee. Kory Jackson trying to get his breath now. Nick Bondage talking with the referee, intimidating the referee, and that's how Nick Bondage operates. He knows that he can get away with a little bit more in the ring if he intimidates the referee. Also going on in Ultimate Wrestling is the Rocket Ricky Roberts has challenged Jerry Reiner, Mr. Electricity, for his Southern Heavyweight Championship. These two guys are great technical wrestlers, Jerry Reiner in the PWI 500, and I would say that the Rocket Ricky Roberts is probably the most underrated wrestler in all of Ultimate Wrestling, a man who defeated Omega last month. Definitely deserves a shot at that championship, and that's going to be a great match. Definitely one of those show stealer kinds of matches in Ultimate Wrestling. Now Jackson off the ropes. Nick Bondage with an elbow to the face. Kory Jackson taking a lot of abuse in this match. We're going to fast forward just a couple minutes. We can't show you all 15 minutes of this match. Kory Jackson now on the ground, and looks like Kory Jackson's seen better days. Nick Bondage scoop up, slam down to the mat, and it looks like Nick Bondage may be going up to the top rope. Nick Bondage not unfamiliar with the top rope, going up. Kory Jackson definitely looking like he's in pain. And look at this, Nick Bondage going up. Big leg drop, misses the leg drop from the top rope. Nick Bondage in a lot of pain, spikes that spine. That's going to hurt. Now Kory Jackson now scoops up Nick Bondage, reversing the rolls. Kory Jackson now going up to the ropes, goes up. This is going to be impressive. This guy can really fly. No stranger to the frog splash. Kory Jackson up. Look at the camera angle on that one, and no. Kory Jackson down. Ouch. That one's going to hurt. I don't think either one of these men are going to be able to make it up before the 10 count. Ultimate Wrestling really does a great job of putting together great matches. Look at these two, Kory Jackson and Nick Bondage. This is the perfect match for these two gentlemen, bringing out the best in each other, just like we saw a few months ago when Minotaur took on Cornbread. Two giants in the Gulf Coast region, really a perfect match for each other. Just like Omega taking on the Rocket Ricky Roberts. That is a perfect match, perfect styles to suit each other and really entertain the audience. And look at these guys going back and forth, right hand for right hand, a perfectly even matchup. You see Waylon Prophet on the outside trying to get an advantage for his man Nick Bondage. A couple knee lifts, and now Kory Jackson lifting up Nick Bondage. Bondage with no place left to go but down, and there's Waylon Prophet. Waylon making his way, and it looks like Kory Jackson isn't going to have any of this. Kory Jackson now mixing it up with Waylon Prophet. Waylon may be regretting ever getting up there. Now looks like Nick Bondage going for the pin, the illegal pinfall, pulling on the shorts, clearly pulling on the shorts, beginning the 3 count. Nick Bondage wins this match, and I think Kory Jackson is livid. I think he just, oh my goodness, he challenged Nick Bondage to come back into the ring. Folks, I'm Michael Wood. I'm out here, ultimatewrestling.org.